So let's show you the income model uh, for an agent that joins the Alliance and gets involved in selling retirement planning products, such as an index universal life or tax-free retirement, and really show you the income potential with our program. Show me the money, right? This is my favorite slides. So let's talk about our business from a personal production standpoint. So there are two ways to make money with the Alliance. The first way is personal production, and the second way is building a team, building an agency. So we're going to tackle it first and show you the production side. Like any organization, we have a promotion guideline. I'm not going to go into much detail on exactly how all this applies, but I'm going to show you how it works in a practical income model. But I just want to show this to you that we can show you how you can go from 55% all the way to the 140%. We have various bonus programs like the Glow bonus, et cetera, that will aid in your incentive to sell and recruit and build. So this is the lower part of what you just saw. And this is probably more relevant from the personal production standpoint. And then here's another, we call the super PAC, also to reward agents that want to focus on personal production. So here you can see how you can produce your way up to 120% commission rate. So let's take the example of my buddy Juan here. And he makes one IUL sale a week, $200 a month is the premium. And by making one IUL sale a week, he'll earn the 75% commission rate. So let's show you what his commissions would be making one IUL sale a week. So at the 75% level, based on commissionable premium, target premium on an IUL, it would be $1,543 a week. Let's say Juan works 48 weeks. And this is, let's just say he's got 6 hours on a Saturday afternoon, runs a couple appointments, and makes one sale of an IUL. So this is purely part-time, right? He could work one evening a week, or he can work one afternoon on a Saturday. But this is purely on a part-time basis. So total commission, he's looking at $74,053 a year, working 48 weeks, and purely part-time, 6 hours a week. What is that? 24 hours a month, roughly. So, based on 24 hours a month of effort, making one sale a week, he's at $74,053. And then index universal life policies, he'll also earn what we call renewals. So I'm going to look at the renewal income for the total of 20 years that the policy is in place. So 20 years worth of renewals in terms of the value of those renewals. So what is a renewal? A renewal is when the client keeps their policy in year number 2, year number 3, you get paid a small percentage of your commission on the annual premium every year the client keeps their policy. So if the client keeps their policy, for 60 years, let's say a 25-year-old gets an IUL and they have that policy for 60 years, the agent's going to get paid for 59 of those years because you get paid the first year commission and then the renewals kick in on year 2. And so I'm just showing 20 years worth of renewal commission. So the policy runs out to year 21. So you get 20 years worth of renewals. And what I did was I added up all those renewals for each week that this agent sells an IUL. So that's $669 worth of renewals over 20 years a week, and then times 48 weeks. So the value of 20 years worth of renewals is $32,089 for 20 years. Okay, so hopefully everyone understands. Part-time agent doing one IUL a sale on a Saturday, as an example, he's going to make $74,000 a year, first year income, and the value of 20 years worth of renewals is $32,089. So let's say Juan here decides to step up and he wants to sell like maybe 2 days a week. He's still part-time. And let's say he makes 5 IUL sales a week at $200 a month each. That amount of volume, he will earn the 90% commission rate up to district manager. So let's look at what the commissions look like there. So at 90% commission rate, that's $9,257 a week times 48 weeks. So now he's at $444,321 a year, working a couple days a week. And then the renewal commissions will be another $192,534, the value of 20 years worth of renewals. So selling 5 IULs a week, maybe he's working 2 days a week in order to do that. Let's take it out further. Let's say he just goes ballistic and he is working, a full 25 hours a week, making 10 IUL sales a week. Again, at the $200 a month. The amount of production he does will earn him a national manager commission rate at 100%. It says commission income for the year for working 48 weeks. That's like 20,000 a week, 20,570 a week. That's 987,379 a year. And then the value of his renewals over 20 years is another 427,853. Okay. So you can work as part-time as you want. You can work as full-time as you want. Understand with the retirement planning product, like an IUL, can be quite lucrative, even at $200 a month. We have clients all the time putting $1,000 a month in their policies, $500 a month, $300 a month, but we're lowballing it at $200 a month just to show you the possibility of working with the Alliance and working with us. So let's say that you don't want to be a Ned Ryerson. If you remember the movie Groundhog's Day, Ned Ryerson is that insurance agent, the typical insurance agent people think of when they think insurance agent. So let's say you want to go beyond Ned Ryerson. You want to create a business team. And we highly recommend it. That's the way I've made a lot of money in the business, because I started building my business team from day one, right? So let's talk about the agency building side of the business. So let's look at how our program of recruiting stacks up against other IMOs out there. There's probably maybe only 2 or 3 IMOs that commission in such a way that have these advantages. So the first advantage is you can override your agents in other states without needing a non-resident license. This is pretty cool. Most IMOs require you to have a non-resident license in a state where you're overriding agents. Well, let's say, my resident license is in Ohio. I have agents in Florida. Even though I don't have a non-resident license in Florida, all my agents in Florida are writing business. I will earn every single penny of override that's due me for all my agents in Florida. It's pretty cool. So I don't have to get a Florida non-resident license. Here's the other aspect of our program. Let's say all those agents in Florida are writing Medicare, so they're contracted with Medicare companies or other companies that I'm not contracted with. Even though I may not be contracted with the carriers that they're writing, I will still earn every penny of override from all those policies that are written. And that's cool. So I don't even have to have contracted with those carriers that they're writing, and I'll still earn all my overrides. The other one is your overrides or agents renewals. So think about it, as your agents are writing policies that they earn renewals on, you're going to get a little piece of that action as well, which I think is an awesome thing. Most other IMOs, they won't pay you overrides on your agents renewals. They keep all the renewals, right? So that's pretty cool. And we're vested in renewals from day one. So you're going to be vested day one in all your renewals. Another good one is promotions are immediate. So in most other IMOs, you earn a commission promotion, then that commission promotion activates on every new policy that you write under that new commission rate. Well, with the Alliance, if you have a policy that gets issued, by the time you're at that commission, the higher commission rate, you'll be commissioned at the higher commission rate. So for example, here's a really good practical one. Let's say you have $1 million annuity pending. You wrote it at a 65% commission rate, and it's pending, it's waiting to be funded. And within that month that your annuity is going through approvals and suitability and getting funded, it could be a month and a half. But let's say in that time you went from 65 to 70%, right? Well, when that annuity issues, you're going to get paid at the 70% commission rate versus 65, and that makes a huge difference as far as how much money you're going to earn on commissions on that annuity. Or it could be a life insurance policy, an IUL waiting to be issued, it's in pending. You earn a commission rate during that time in pending. When it gets issued, you'll get paid at the higher commission rate. So I think that's a cool thing. Next one is we have the most generous Medicare compensation plan compared to the majority of IMOs out there. We pay the best. Next one is you can earn commissions on managed money. In other words, you can get your securities license and then you can sell your clients mutual funds and other security type products to help them with their retirement planning. Next one is you don't have to be the retirement planning expert. If you identify an opportunity with a client that you can move money into an annuity or they want to buy a large IUL, rest assured that you're going to have help to close that deal, okay? And you're going to earn commissions on that, right? So we've got the experts. You don't have to be the expert. Eventually, you're going to learn how to do it yourself. But during the time before you can do it yourself, you've got total support from us. Then finally, our agent back office, all the technology tools involved with that, the underwriting tools and all the technology and the CRM, we don't charge you for. A lot of agencies out there, a lot of IMOs will charge you $50 a month or $100 a month for those technology tools, right? We'll charge you nothing because we want to help you make money, right? We offer these tools for you to make money. Why charge you? So anyway, those are some of the advantages our program has. So let's delve into the commission rates. Again, this is the lower part that applies primarily to producers, but you can also build a team that does this much volume. And as you're building your team, you move up the commission scale. One thing about the commission guidelines is that you can earn your commissions by producing, or you can earn your commissions by building an agency, or you can do both. And each way of earning a commission rate increase will kick in. So whichever one kicks you up first, that's the one that we'll use to promote you. If building an agency will kick you up faster, that's what we'll do to promote you. So we're going to find every possible way to promote you faster than slower, right? And then the guideline on the right, look, if you're just really part-time, super part-time, you never, ever do more than $2,500 in a month to move up to 60%, as an example, you can earn career-based promotions. So during your career with us, once you hit the 5,000 issue paid mark, we're going to move you up to 60%. Once you hit 12,500 total volume accumulated production, you're going to get to 65. 20,000 will get you 70. So if that 20,000 is done in 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, we're going to promote you, okay, all the way up to the 80% once you've hit your career 50,000 accumulated issue paid premium. Trying to be more than fair. We're trying to be generous with our promotion guidelines. These are some of the really the building level promotion guidelines all the way up to 140%. And then, when you add up the glow bonus, the bonuses will kick in so that your total payout can be up to 163%. And this is our glow bonus. So this is an additional bonus that you're going to earn based on breaking out regional managers who are at the 95% level. You're going to earn all the way 7 deep with additional bonuses on their volume. So this is really cool. All right, so let's remind you of the part-time agent, Juan here. He does one IUL sale a week at $200 a month. And just to remind you, the commission income, he's going to make $74,000, and then total value of 20 years worth of renewals, another $32,000. Okay. So let's say Juan decides he wants to build an agency, right? So let's say Juan brings in Smiley Girl and Stella. They do what he did. They're making one IUL sale a week. They got 6 hours on a Saturday, sitting out with a couple of clients or doing it over Zoom. They close one at $200 a month. Now they're making that same money that Juan was making on the previous slide. But what happens for Juan? So Juan, when he has 2 agents doing the kind of volume he was doing, one IUL sale a week, he gets promoted to the agency manager level at 85%. So let's take a look at his commissions. So his personal production commissions go up to $83,927 a year because he's writing at a higher, 10% higher commission rate. But now he earns an override. What's an override? Override is the differential of his contract level and his agent's contract level. So Smiley Girl at 75%, he's at 85%, so he makes 10% on both Smiley Girls as an agent and Stella as an agent. So the total of his overrides are now 19,748. So check this out. First year income, he makes 103,675 by just opening the door to two other agents that want to work 6 hours on a Saturday or 3 hours on Tuesday night and 3 hours on Thursday night because they work full time, right? They're doing it in the evenings to make one IUL sale, just one IUL sale a week. He's already at 136 figures, and he has not done more than work 6 hours selling his own. He's got two agents selling for themselves, and now his income gets kicked in. Now let's look at his renewals. So his renewal income goes up for 20 years. His overrides, now he makes overrides on his agent's renewals. It's another 85.57 for the 20 years. So now the total value of 20 years worth of renewals, both override and personal production, is 44,925. That to me rocks. So now Smiley Girl and Stella is going, they're going, hey, Juan, man, how can we make six figures? I'm like you're doing. He goes, well, who do you know that might be interested in making some additional income? And they say, I know a bunch of people. So let's say they each bring on a couple people, just like Juan did, to do what? Spend 6 hours selling one IUL a week. And again, I'm being generous. It takes an hour to write up an IUL, maybe 20 minutes to explain it. So really, it's not that much. So Smiley Girl brings on Urkel and her first grade teacher. They're both at 75% doing one IUL sale a week, right? Smiley Girl goes to 85% agency manager, just like Juan did when he found two agents. And then Stella does the same exact thing. Stella goes to agency manager. But Juan, based on all that production, going through his group, through 6 other agents doing what he's doing, making one sale a week, he gets promoted to the regional manager level at the 95% commission rate. So his personal commissions go up to 93,801 a year. His overrides now are 59,243 a year. So his total compensation, first year income is 153,044 per year. Then the total of his renewals, 40,000 in personal production renewals, 25,000, 26,000 in overrides on his agent's renewals. So that's a total of $66,317 over the next 20 years total. Not bad. All he has is 6 other agents doing what he's doing part-time. And now he's like, mid 6 figures and monster renewals. So let's take it down another level. Let's say Urkel and the first grade teacher want to know, hey, how do I get to the agency manager level? So let's show that scenario. So like everyone at the bottom of this organization brings on 2 people each, all of whom are at the 75% commission rate. Their upline goes to 85% agency manager, and then Smiley Girl hits the regional manager level at 95%. Well, Stella's organization does the same thing. So what happens to Juan? Juan goes to vice president at 105%. So he writes all his business now at 105% commission rate, all his business, one IUL sale a week at a very low ball annual premium. But another thing kicks in, because since he broke 2 regional managers at 95%, he earns an additional 8% override on both those entire organizations. And let's say another RM gets broken out in those organizations, right? Because the next level would be Smiley Girl breaking out their 2 agency managers as regional managers. So if that ever happened, he's got another layer of glow bonus, which is, I think, 5%, and he's also making 8% above that. So the glow bonus kicks in. So let's show you what his income looks like, plus the glow bonus. So on his one IUL sale a week, he's making 103,675. The total of his overrides now surpassed what he's making at 138,233. So his total, and then the glow bonus that kicks in is 129,024 of glow bonus. So now his total compensation, making one sale a week, working part-time, is 370,932. Now here's a cool thing about this when you think about it. Let's say that Juan gets cancer and can't work for 6 months. He's got to go through chemotherapy. He's sick. He's not feeling good. Guess what? His agents are probably going to send him a get well card, but they're still building the business, producing this business for their families. They're paying their mortgages with their business, right? They're sending their kids to private Christian school with this business. They're setting up their own retirement with this business. They're working for their own family. They're not working for Juan. They feel bad for Juan. They're praying for Juan, but they are doing all this for themselves. Now, guess what? So Juan's overrides still come in, and his glow bonus still comes in. He loses on 103,000, but he still has I'm just doing the math quick in my head, 30, 70, 270,000 coming in. I think, gang, that is insurance on his income, right? If he can't work, or let's say he doesn't want to work producing anymore, he doesn't have to, because he's got 270,000 coming in. He just wants to build his business and focusing on building his business part-time. So let's say he just spends 20 hours a week building his business, right? Anyway, it's insurance on his income. Let's look at what the renewals do. So his personal production renewals over 20 years, 44,925. His override on his agent's renewals, 59,899. And the glow bonus, another 1,780. Now, the value of his renewals over 20 years, 106,604. So to me, this is one of the best ways to create income, because this is income you can walk away from. Because remember, these people are doing it for themselves. They're not working for Juan, right? And this is your security, are agents that want to do this for themselves. They're not working for you, okay? So this is how the business can work. One IUL sale a week. Everyone's still part-time. No one decided to sell 5 in a week or 10 in a week. Everyone's still part-time, right? 6 hours a week. So anyway, that's cool. I hope this made sense.